Armageddon versus the Valley of Jehoshaphat. These are two different locations. Millions have confused them with being in the same place. If you think you know where they are, you're probably wrong. These are two separate geographical locations mentioned in eschatological prophecies about a cataclysmic, catastrophic, apocalyptic wars, the two last wars of the planet. One is where all the world powers are fighting against each other, and then one is where they fight against who the world calls Jesus Christ, his angels, and the elect men. In Revelation chapter 16, verse 12, we see the sixth angel pouring out his vial on the great river Euphrates, and the water there is dried up to prepare the way for the kings of the east. This is approaching that Armageddon battle. And we see in verse 16, it says, he gathered all of them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. Now, what does this word mean in Hebrew Armageddon? It literally means the valley of Megiddo. This will be the place where the world powers battle against each other, brick versus NATO. So what happens is, according to Revelation 19, Christ comes on the scene, Revelation 19 and 19, and I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him, Christ, that sat on the horse and against his army. The beast, this is NATO, was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, and they were thrown into the lake of fire. The lake of fire is over there in the valley of Megiddo, according to the biblical text. Now, brick is also here, but brick retreats. Now, there's a battle that happens after Armageddon. That's when we see Revelation chapter 20. In Revelation chapter 20 and 8, it says that Gog and Magog are going to gather the rest of the world to compass the army of the saints in the beloved city. And then hellfire and brimstone is going to fall down upon them. This battle is after Armageddon. Gog, Magog, brick nations, they'll be fighting against who the world calls Christ, his angels, and the elect men. That's Joel chapter 3. This is the valley of Jehoshaphat when that happens. It says, I will gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom I have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Join me this Friday, September 19th, 6 p.m. Eastern, where we talk more about this and go deep.
So before I begin, it's all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shah Ba'asham, or Chakwadash, double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone that rule well. Peace, blessing, and salutation to the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and all Israelites scattered abroad, who have received this truth and who will endure into the truth until the end when our Lord Yahweh shall returns to destroy our enemies, starting with Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and deliver the elect. All right, which is based upon, salvation is based upon his truth, which we have the truth here at Great Millstone, Houston, starting with the apostles on down to the affiliate camps that teach the scriptures the same. All right, 100% truth. Now, you heard priest, Deacon Akah, all right, a priest Akah, whatever he goes by. Again, another off breakdown saying that the Battle of Armageddon and in the Valley of Jehoshaphat are two different battles. That's not true. They're one and the same. All right. And if you're waiting on two different battles, then you're going to be waiting to be destroyed. All right. When you go into the scriptures, right, there's three major wars. Okay. World War I, World War II, and World War III. All right. What we're waiting for after the MOTB is made mandatory on the earth by Esau, the so-called white man, and his New World Order, his NWO agenda and goals and plans. All right. Not too long after that, we will have WW3. Now, this will be one battle, all right, fought in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, called the Battle of Armageddon. All right, it's not two different battles. All right, now, the Valley of Jehoshaphat has a location, and the battle, okay, is being called the Battle of Armageddon. Okay, now we go here in Revelation chapter 11 and 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. All right, so now this voice from heaven saying unto them, who is the them? The them are the elect of the nation of Israel that have waken up to this truth and have endured in the truth unto the end. It says, come up hither. Come up hither where? Into the chariots. All right. So at this time, the chariots will be here. The chariots of Israel, so-called UFOs, Yahweh, Salakia, and the angels will be here on earth, gathering together the elect around the four corners of the earth, mainly here in Babylon the Great, which is America. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, the chariots, the so-called UFOs, and their enemies beheld them. So before the nuclear destruction hits, all right, the elect will be beamed up. In the same hour, there were a great earthquake, and a tenth part of the city fell. Now this is here in America, right? The great earthquake will be caused by the thermonuclear warheads. All right, 200 million warheads will hit America. All right, so at the same hour, the elect are being delivered. You're gonna have the nuclear missiles hitting ground zero. The 10th part of the city fell, America, which is broke up into 10 different parts by FEMA. And in the earthquake was slain of men 7,000, a complete number of people. And the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to Yahweh of heaven. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. All right, so the third woe is the third world war, and it's coming quickly. And then during this time, there will be chariots delivering the elect and the nuclear missiles destroying America and the land of Israel. And I'm sure different parts of the earth will get hit by nuclear missiles as well. All right. Now, going from there, let's see what they give us over here. Said they were quick. Okay. Boom. Yep. You got one woe was passed, and it came up 2 more woes hereafter. All right, we're waiting on the third one. Now, when he read this, Revelation 15:1, when the elect are being delivered, all right, during the third woe, and I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of Yahweh. By Hashem Yahushua, I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast. All right, so this is the elect. They got the victory over this, the world of the Edomites. Okay, the beast representing NATO, EU, and America. They got the victory over the beast and over his image, his philosophies, his way of life, his NWO, and over his mark, the MOTB, which is the RFID chip, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of Yahweh. All right, so they got the victory, and they're looking down out of the windows, the mouth of the chariot. All right, they're looking down at, America being destroyed. Okay, and it looked like a sea of glass mingled with fire. America will be totally on fire. All right, and looking down from the chariots, that's what it looked like. And it says that it was as a sea of glass mingled with fire. That sea of glass, well, that glass representing the firmament of heaven, which they call the ozone layer. So they're looking through the ozone layer and seeing America on fire from sea to shining sea. All right. So This is all going to happen during World War III. All right, the elect go up in the chariots looking down on America burning. All right, and this is what we know as the battle, well, the Battle of Armageddon. This is, let's see, Revelation 16 and 14. For they are the spirits of devils. Well, let me go up. Let me see. This is Revelation 16 and 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, or the actual Euphrates River, and the water thereof was dried up. And that's what we're seeing right now. The Euphrates River is being dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. So you're going to have these different kings, different nations, okay? And their militaries, they're going to come down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, all right? The Battle of Armageddon. They're going to come down into, that. I'm going to get it. Let's get that. Boom. Let's get Joel 2. Let's see. 20. This is the location of the valley of Jehoshaphat. But I will remove far off from you the northern army, which is America, and I will drive him into a land barren and desolate. All right, that's the Middle East. All right, over there, where it's gonna go into it, with his face towards the eastmost sea. All right, that's the Euphrates, and his hinder part towards the utmost sea, the Red Sea. So between the Red Sea and the Euphrates, his stink shall come up, and his ill savior shall come up, because he had done great things. All right. Now let's go over to Joel 3 and verse 1. For behold, in those days and at that time will I bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, and I also will gather all nations. That's the kings. All nations. Is going to be a war fought between all the nations and their militaries. And I will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which in the Hebrew is Jehoshaphat. Okay, Jehoshaphat is Yahweh's judgment, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, for they have scattered whom they have scattered amongst the nations and parted my land. All right, so you're going to have a great number of different nations come together into this one location. All right, henceforth the word meaning Armageddon, Armageddon. Joel 3 and 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, you other nations. Prepare war. What war is this? World War III. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares and the swords, your pruning hooks and the spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen nations. Gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thou mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. So the mighty ones are the angels that we read about. And beating your plowshares and the swords going to fund your military. Take funding away from your agriculture, put it more into your military, because we're in a time of war. All right, and all we're hearing about is war. We're hearing about the MOTB and war. MOTB and war, because we're at this time. All right, let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge the heathen round about. You see? Now let's go back. Revelation, let's see, 16. So the angel's going to be here. Yahweh going to be here. All right. And in different nations, they're going to be fighting against each other. So it says, verse 13. Well, I'm going to jump to 14. For they are the spirits of devils. That's these Edomites. The dragon representing America, the beast representing NATO and the EU, and the false prophet represents uh, the Roman Vatican Church. All right, these are devils, these Edomite devils, working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world to gather them to the battle of the great day of Yahweh Almighty. See, the battle of the great day when the nuclear missiles, all the nations gather, and the angels with Yahweh Shah are here. This is one battle, World War III. The third woe, behold, I come as a thief. Blessed he that watcheth and keep his garment, lest he walk naked, and they see his shame, and gather them together into the place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. Now this is not the literal place of Megiddo, all right, as you know the priest Hakar went into. This is, when you break the word down, is Har, which is mountain, and Giddo represents troops. All right, so it's mountain of troops. These are the different nations being gathered together for Yahweh to judge all of them and ultimately get the victory through Yahweh Shah. As the priest read Revelation, I think he mentioned Revelation, the 19th chapter, starting in verse 11. All right, and Gog, which represents Russia, and all the nations that's on Russia as ally with Russia are going to be in this battle. Now, this is Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, said Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey, for my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. So the battle of Armageddon, all the nations gathered together, and Yahweh is going to pour upon them nuclear fire at this same time. Okay? He's going to pour upon them nuclear fire, mainly here in America. Okay? Now, I'm end off right there. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Ba'ashem Rakakodash Brakatham Shalom.